I linked up Bunny to Marek, who's the manager of acclaimed Kenyan music group Sauti Sol and also doubles up as the managing director of Sauti Sol Entertainment for some insights on the music business.
Hi Marek.
Gents, what's up?
I'm good. How are you doing?
What's up, Ian? How you doing, Baba?
I'm very well.
Bunny,
Yes.
what's up, my man?
Good.
Guys, come inside.
Hey, Brian.
Bunny, what's up, man?
Good. How are you doing?
Good to meet you, man.
Good to meet you too. And thank you for this opportunity. It's very lighting and yeah, you know, there are so many questions that artists like me already, have, and I really appreciate the time you've given us today.
Cool.
And of course, I'll start with a very light question to know at least how did you meet Sauti Sol?
How did we meet? It was a bit more random than people expect. I think it was about 7 years ago. I think it was at Alliance Française and one of, I'm not sure if it was necessarily their shows, but they were performing. And then when people were mingling after the show, I think I met Chimano and Polycarp, and we started speaking a little bit, and they found out that I'm from Czech Republic originally, and they were actually going on tour a few months later. So the next time we actually met randomly was then again in Europe for the tour, and since then we kind of clicked.
Nice. No, but who chooses who? Is it the manager who chooses the artist, or is it the artist who goes to the manager?
You know what, that's different, depending. It's also very subjective or depending on the situation. You know, some artists can seek a manager, and I think oftentimes that is the most common way, because the artist generally has an idea of who he wants to work with, what he needs from the person. You might not need somebody full-time. You might be looking for somebody full-time with specific, more kind of the A&R focus on the music, or you're looking for a manager that's more focused on the business development and bookings. And when you mentioned, you know, you don't have the money yet to be paying a manager, a real manager should know that you don't really get paid a salary. You get a cut of what you bring into the business.
The challenges that mostly upcoming artists face with is financial problem. So, like, for now, where does Sauti Sol get the money to do all this, what they're doing?
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, it definitely, you know, there's several stages before you can be an independent artist. In terms of Sauti Sol, how we've been able to stay independent is we've worked really hard on understanding where can we get money from, you know, where can we get money from apart from performance, because that's directly linked to your time put in, you get out, and there's only a limited amount of time. We can't be playing every day. So we needed to look at where else in the music business can you get money coming from. So the major income streams are obviously performance and performing. Obviously, that is where artists get a big chunk of their money. The other big chunk of their money that they can get, but at the beginning it's quite small because your following is small, is sales, right? So streaming sales, digital sales, etc., album sales. But until you're really, you know, quite a serious following, that income is not going to be that big. The other income stream for artists is endorsement deals. So once you get a certain name, or once you have a certain number of following, and you're kind of an influencer in many respects, you're able to then get on to and work with businesses to push your audience and to, you know, if you believe in the business and believe in the product, to product endorse. And there's a lot of money that can be made there as well. But it's generally always limited to, let's say, the top, you know, 5 acts in a given country.
That is now after, now we're talking about a successful now Sauti Sol.
Yes.
But later at the beginning, how did you get the money to start with?
So beginning, it's a combination of, you know, your side hustle and savings that you make from shows and from your fans. People have used alternative methods like crowdfunding, you know, these are also legitimate ways to gather some funds at the beginning so that you can, you know, release your music regularly and release some content regularly so that people can get a chance to notice you and get to feel you.
We talk a lot about, there's a lot of discussion about labels and independence. What is the right way? Is it to go independent, or at some level in your career now it's time to hand over to the label because there is maybe a level that the label can take you that you can't reach?
Labels are, from a wide perspective is that they're basically banks with connections. You know, we would be considering, let's say, working with a major at this point, because I believe there's about 3 stages of an artist's career. There's the initial stage where you go out there, you perform, you build your initial fan base, you build your initial following, and there's a manager for that that will help you. Friends generally play that role. People who really know you are excited about your music, a big fan of yours, they'll be interested in helping you organize some of these things. Then there's a middle stage of management where I believe you go from being known in an urban area, etc., and grow over the next couple of years, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in some cases, to be known well in your country or on the continent. That now comes through hard work, looking at your social media, etc., and I like to play that role specifically, because I know how to take somebody from being relatively known and help them develop their brand, help them with their strategy and consistency and some basic business structure, grow from that being something that, wow, I succeeded, to this is now a consistency or consistent success, where you can now start earning money, etc., so that you can go to the next stage. And I think then there's the final stage, where I believe the majors are back at it again. They've spent the last 10, 15 years gathering the, picking up the pieces of their broken business and understood and invested into technology, and started investing into streaming services, started investing into playlists, etc. So now they have control again, many times, of streaming services like Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, etc. They own certain shares, if not the whole thing, and they are in charge of now curating playlists, for example. And if you're looking for a signing to an independent label, indie label, or a major, they have to come with, number 1, experience and connections, and number 2, they have to come with money. They have to invest into you, they have to invest into recordings, they have to invest into your music videos, and in return, what they get a percentage of your earnings for a period of 3 to 5 years, depending on what you sign to, but generally those are the terms.
Now, Sauti has grown from a city band to a global brand. How did you manage? How did you get into now the being more continental, being a universal brand now? How did you grow Sauti?
Look, we've always understood very much that we have to look after our home base. You need to build your foundation, a solid foundation on rock, and we understand this is our home ground. A lot of artists go about it that they try and seek other markets because they can't find footing here in Kenya. For some reasons, that could make sense, but generally I think you need to put the blood, sweat and tears locally, build a solid base over here, with which you can now depend on to grow outside of Kenya and go into East Africa. And then outside of East Africa, focus on Africa and beyond. We took it in waves like this. We really wanted to focus on that. And you have to slightly adjust, let's say, some things. You don't change your DNA, you stay who you are, but you adjust the 10-15% for the sound that's in TZ. You might do a collaboration, step by step. Those are the kind of key things that really help you. You work with a local producer in those given countries that will get you onto the sound wave, but don't let them sway you into something that you're not. But they will help you finding the sound for that given market that will complement your sound, and you will be able to cross over through that, through collabos, through remixes. So those are the kind of key strategies that you use to grow bit by bit. You don't just go here in Nairobi and then go boom, global. It's really a step-by-step thing.
Now you're wearing my t-shirt, and I don't want this night to end before you know I love you. I don't want this night to end before you know I need you.
Thank you very much for the advices and the insights.
All the best, man.
Thank you so much.
After meeting the Sauti Sol manager, Marek, I've learned 3 things. 1, it's very, very important to have a copyright for your songs. The second one is in terms of diversification. So as musicians, we sell emotions, but beyond that, we can now sell anything using that platform. And then the third one is in terms of promotion, whereby I have to use my social media very, very often and very smartly. Not only posting, but having a calculated move in terms of what I post, how I post, captions, and anything that is related to social media.
Thank you so much for having watched The Business Coach. Hope you've learned a thing or two about the music business. Now we can put to rest the hashtag Play Kenyan Music to hashtag KTN Business Coach, because this is the show whereby you get to learn insights on how to better your business. My name is Ian Dennis, and you can follow the conversation with us at KTN Kenya, at Ian Dennis. Until next week, keep it right here on The Business Coach, where we help entrepreneurs better their business.